Almost 1,700 hospitalized dengue cases in the last 24 hours. Well, we now have 100% proof that they are absolutely lying and covering up the actual numbers of not only Ebola, but dengue also. And anybody that's been following my videos knows that dengue and Ebola have very similar, the onset, their first symptoms, the first symptoms. And not only that, but many people who have dengue also test positive for Ebola after death. But it is 100% proof. And we now have someone speaking out about why the World Health Organization was forced to push back, not calling this, either one of these, a global health emergency. And it took them 4 times to finally call it a global health emergency. It's because of money. Like, huge amounts of money have gone missing. I'm sure many of you remember what went on in Haiti and how billions flooded in Haiti after that earthquake. And 2 of our former presidents and one of their wives, did not disperse the money as it was to be. I think Haiti only got like 3% of the actual money that we donated to them, and other people around the country, or the country and the world, donated. That's exactly what happened with the 2014-2015 outbreak. Not only that, but there was money earmarked that was supposed to go directly into effect if any of this happened, and it hasn't happened. This is insane. They were using it's essentially like a slush fund. They had people donate money and put it in kind of like a CD of sorts. And if there wasn't a global health emergency declared within the 5 years, then you would get your money back with interest. That's why they didn't want to name this a global health emergency. But not only that, the numbers can be confirmed that they are absolutely contradicting themselves and lying about how many tens of thousands of people are actually infected. Let's take a look at those articles and what all went on with the slush fund. This is horrific. Now, I don't know if we'll ever find out how many people are actually contagious, people that are in the US that have it, which I have no doubt. And they're covering it up because of money. This is astonishing. You know, at first I thought it was the money because of trade and all of these things and the tourism, and this is way worse. They had the money, but they refused to hand it over. Who knows where the money is? Nobody really knows. Oh my gosh, let's take a look at that, y'all. So we have in Bangladesh 13,000 dengue cases just in July alone. And yet we're not much hearing about this. At least 13,000 cases, which is the most in 18 years for the entire year. More in 1 month than entire year. Wow, this is outrageous. See, look, 13,000 in just 1 month. The other ones, the next highest was 3,000 in just a month. And we've already had at least 13,000. Honduras, 42,000 just in 2019, which means just in the last few months. And they have had at least 59 fatalities, which I believe is more, because they're keeping these numbers under wraps because of this situation right here. So the World Bank has the money to fight Ebola, but it won't use it. In the Congo, thousands of people have died due to misguided, finance-driven approach to fighting pandemics that put investors before victims. Holy crap, y'all, this is crazy. Let me scroll down to, I highlighted some stuff. So the epidemic, which began on August 1st, 2018, has now sickened over 2,500 people, killing more than 1,700. I think that's a big freaking lie. There's way more. It is entirely possible that the toll is much higher, because some of those never seek formal care, and all of the dead have not been tallied. Bam. So officially, it was in North Kivu province of the Congo. The epidemic now spans an area stretching approximately 300 miles in the two provinces, which spills over reported into the major metropolis Goma, which we now have at least 4 people in Goma, which is a city of like 1 million or 2 million people. So the Ebola epidemic is incredibly tense due to military situation in the eastern Congo. This is nothing that y'all haven't already heard. Wait, it has sickened more than 115,000 people and killed some 2,000 children this year? Whoa, what? Oh, the measles. Oh, yeah. Oh, now it's 115,000. Y'all remember when I talked about the measles before? They said there was only 86,000? Who knows? That we have no idea how many. This is insane. Wow. So they're going to just blame it on measles and not even tell us the actual number. Okay, so he backed up the statement by committing $63 million to the World Health Organization effort. We wouldn't think that the public health emergency of international concern with the intent to mobilize resources, urged Tedros, the World Health Organization Director General, in his press briefing. Remember, I kept saying that. He kept pushing that. Like, that was the main concern. Like, it's not just to, it's not going to be about trade and all of these things. Bull crap. That's all they're worried about is money. But last week, the World Health Organization was leading the epidemic response with 54 million shortfall of robbing other agencies. So they were having to take money from other agencies just to try to cover this. Okay, let me just keep going. In contrast to the 3.6 billion that eventually came forward from donors to combat the disease in West Africa in 2014-2015. The agency has since February received only about half of what it needs from donors. Though the U.S. government is so far the largest donor of the overall response, having put more than $98 million into the fight since last summer, most of that money has been spent on U.S. operations outside of the epidemic zone. How disgusting is this? I mean, not that I'm shocked, but this is crazy. Under rules made by the current administration, U.S. personnel cannot operate in the eastern Congo for security reasons. No money, even humanitarian aid, can currently be given to the Congolese government because it is labeled an enabler of human trafficking, and little has gone to the... Oh my gosh, so I've been thinking we've given $100 million to them, but no. Who knows where it is? We don't know. Wow, oh my gosh, this is horrific. The World Bank has to date given $20 million to the response, just $6.5 million of that to the World Health Organization. So, where's the other money? Where's the $13 million? $13.5 million? They don't know. But the World Bank's sentiments have not been mirrored by its actions. Exactly. Indeed, the bank has behaved reprehensibly. In 2014, in a response to the tremendous financial shortfalls that delayed the national and global responses to West African Ebola epidemic, then World Bank President Jim Young Kim publicly and repeatedly vowed that never again would an epidemic be allowed to unfold for reason of lack of funds. He created a unique and rather complicated set of insurance and hedge funds inside the International Bank for reconstruction and development to be used to combat outbreaks, dubbed the Pandemic Emergency Financing Facility, or PEF. The idea was to amass billions of dollars in insurance, bonds, and hedge funds that could be activated based on unstated triggers. See, that was another thing. This lady that wrote this article, she had no idea. She's like, so what's going to trigger them to release the funds? And they never would give her an answer. Hedging, so they're essentially hedging against outbreaks. Putting money, it's like gambling. After 5 outbreak-free years, the investors would get their money back and get interest. That's essentially what that's saying. Beyond the small sum of $20 million given 2 months ago, the PEF has not been activated, meaning that fund that supposedly had $3 billion has not been activated. Oh, this is so disgusting. And so when Americans, I believe Americans have already died of this. And this is what's going on. This is what's going on. According to the PEF documents, up to $200 million to combat Ebola should have been released as soon as an activation of pre-agreed trigger, but they never said what the trigger would be. Oh, this is so shady. In April, the World Bank former chief economist Lawrence Summers denounced PEF, labeling it an embarrassing mistake and a symptom of financial goofiness. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's goofiness, all right. They knew exactly what they were doing. Goofy governments who wanted to have an initiative for the G7. Yeah, right. Like they don't know what they're doing. Whatever. In other words, thousands of people might die in the Ebola epidemic, but never formally trigger the $200 million before PEF's 5-year payout. So they were trying to wait out the 5 years so they could get their money back. Oh God, this is so disgusting. And recently, our current administration appointed World Bank President David Malpass, who has not publicly commented on PEF. So it's not clear how he will react to the deadly consequences of what Summers had called financial goofiness. The warring factions that are raping, pillaging, and killing local civilians and attacking the Ebola responders have financial backing from a variety of sources, including regional governments, from the United Nations. So the money that they're saying is going to them is not. And they already should have had money. Not only that, let's get to this article from 2016. Where what happened to all the money pledged to fight Ebola? That is a good question. With the Ebola outbreak fading in, see, this was in 2016, y'all. With the Ebola outbreak fading into the rearview mirror, serious questions are emerging over what happened to all the money pledged to support 3 affected countries. Some $1.9 billion in promised funds have not been dispersed, and it is nearly impossible to track the $3.9 billion that did make it to Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Guinea. Oh my goodness. This is sick. So Oxfam joins other groups that have tried to bring attention to the flurry of pledges and spending that came at the peak of the outbreak in 2014 that killed more than 11,000 people. The One campaign, a U.S.-based advocacy group, launched its Ebola response tracker in order to hold these countries accountable. And it shows that the U.S. dispersed less than 13% of that $2 billion that was pledged. Where's the other money? Where is all the money? Y'all, this is insane. So they had Haiti, and then they did this, and I don't want to do the whole left-right paradigm thing, but are you kidding me? This is what the Democrats were doing, and they want to say that they care about black people? They've killed so many people. Holy crap. Two major problems emerged. First, that the money was needed for West Africa countries to recover and rebuild their systems that would try to prevent the next major health crisis. But they didn't get the money. So this could have been done and dealt with if they would have gotten that money that was pledged to them. But they didn't get the money. In order for the countries to quickly rebuild, well, that's kind of what I've been saying. The United States spent $3 billion alone, but did not come close to fulfilling its promises to release all of its spending. See, they say they spent it, but they don't know where it is. That's what they're saying. But get this. So I went to this one campaign that supposedly is tracking. This is what the one is doing. So I'm looking into this group to see if they are shady also and just acting like they are actually helping, because they've taken in billions of dollars for AIDS Foundation. They're part of that red, you know, that Coca-Cola and all these people have thrown billions of dollars at. I wouldn't doubt if they're pretty shady too, because I cannot find that tracker. So at least a third of the $5.8 billion pledged in support of West African communities devastated by Ebola have yet to be delivered. That's horrific. It's absolutely horrific. So this is supposedly that tracker. So I went to the one campaign and it's empty. So this is the tracker that you're supposed to be able to, that they are trying to help everybody, right? Yep, that's empty. Then you go to right here. Where's the tracker? You can click on this document that there's not much of anything. I'm going to look more into it, but I have a feeling that this little, all right, thanks for watching. Whatever, one campaign, wonderful day. And yes, I will be talking about that situation that occurred in that southern part of Texas today. I have downloaded all of the videos that people have uploaded, like the ones that people from the actual incident have uploaded, and I'm probably going to have to do it live and then pull it down, and then I'll have it up on my BitChute. If you don't know the link to my BitChute, it is always in my first pinned comments. So anyway, as y'all all know, YouTube is killing us. They are demonetizing everything, and then when they do monetize it, they monetize it way after your initial first views, because usually the first day or two is when you get all your views. They're keeping them demonetized until after the first few days. It's really a sick game that they're playing, because they know that there's nothing that we have that's against terms of service, but yet they're keeping them demonetized. And this is really, it's really a struggle, y'all. Not only that, but I mean, to protect yourself and prevent, I can't say it prevents anything. All I can say is, yes, I'm taking it and my kids are taking it, and it is absolutely amazing, wonderful. It does things for all kinds of viruses, bacteria. I mean, it possibly could do things for viruses, funguses, just, I mean, so many things, like diabetes, all of these things. Even for animals, it helps with animals. It does amazing things, and it is called the Silver Solution. Let me grab it. I have, you know, the solution where you take 2 teaspoons a day, the soap, lozenges, and the gel. They have different little bundle packs you can get, and I have a 20% off coupon in my pinned comments, and it's going to say to get the silver right here, and it'll have like arrows to it, and that'll be, because they're lying to us. They're 100% lying to us about who's infected, where the infections are. And if you haven't seen my other videos, I'm going to put that playlist at the end of this. Actually, you'll see it in about 1 second. Well, right after I'm done. And you're going to see, I mean, click on that and see how many inconsistencies have been going on throughout this outbreak. And now we know it's due to the billions of dollars that are involved. Y'all have a wonderful day, guys.